Tell me about yourself.
My name is Piercey. I am currently a student at Riverside Secondary and I'm in the 10th grade.
Why do you want to work here?
I find the teamwork that the Wendy's crew does to be very admirable, and I think I could contribute to it.
Why should we hire you?
I'm very hardworking and organized, and I make sure to go above and beyond whatever I'm asked to do.
What do you know about our company?
I know that you guys have chains all the way from here to Asia, and I know that the CEO of your company is Todd Pangor.
Give me an example of when you use the skills we're seeking for this job.
A few months ago, I had a big final project for one of my classes, and it was pretty open-ended, and my group didn't really know what we wanted to do, and I ended up taking charge and making sure that everyone had a job to do, and we ended up finishing the project with both a good mark and early.
Give me an example of a problem you faced on the job or at school, and tell me how you solved it.
When I was in grade 6, I had a teacher that I didn't really get along with for one of my classes, and that lasted throughout the entire year. And then I had that same teacher as my leadership teacher the following year, and I ended up having to kind of put aside my dislike for the teacher in order to be able to do what I was supposed to.
How do you deal with the stress and deadlines?
Very, very well. I don't get very stressed at all, and I don't miss deadlines.
Give me an example of important goal you had to set and tell me about your progress in reaching that goal.
Oh, for jiu-jitsu, I had started going to adult classes when I was 12, and I struggled a lot because they were a lot bigger than me, and I found that in order to be able to keep up with them, I had to really polish my technique, and ever since then, I've been really, really careful about making sure that my technique is perfect, and ever since then, I've become known as one of the best at technique in my entire gym.
What do you consider to be your greatest strength and weakness?
I think my greatest strength is my perseverance and my desire to succeed, which kind of pushes me in order to doing the best that I can.
And weakness?
Weakness, I would say that my greatest weakness is when I feel like I'm pressured into making a decision that I don't want to make.
How would you describe your ability to work as a part of a team?
I think pretty good. I believe that I can both take orders and give them, and no matter what I am assigned to do in a team, I will always do the best I can.
What have you learned from your mistakes?
I've learned that no matter what, it's not a bad thing to make mistakes, and if you never make a mistake, then you won't grow as a person.
What was the best decision you ever made?
I'd say the best decision I ever made was starting math a year ahead in grade 6. It helped me build my confidence in my academics, and also just build a sense of pride as someone who managed to skip a grade in a class a lot earlier than most people.
How do you deal with competition?
Very well. I enjoy competition because it gives me a desire to succeed and to be better than my competition.
Are you a competitive person?
Yes.
What would you consider an ideal work environment?
I'd say somewhere where everyone can work to the best of their abilities without any infighting.
Do you consider yourself to be a leader?
Yes.
What do you think are the attributes of a good leader?
I think a good leader needs to be able to take criticism and apply that criticism in a positive way in what they do, and to listen to whoever they are leading and what their needs are.
What do you do when people disagree with you, with your ideas?
I like to look at it and think maybe see if I'm approaching it from the wrong angle, and if I find that I'm not, then I usually just continue with what I'm doing. But if I do find that I'm approaching it from the wrong angle, I'll adjust.
Okay. Describe a situation where you found yourself dealing with someone who did not like you. And how did you handle it?
Definitely when I had the teacher that didn't like me very much in 6th grade, and then in the next grade when I had them as my leadership teacher, I had to find a way to get past our differences and do what I was supposed to do.
Give me an example of a time when you tried to accomplish something and you failed.
I've made, little mistakes, especially when it comes to jiu-jitsu, but other than that, I can't really think of any times where I've made very big mistakes. And
when you make a mistake, do you get discouraged?
Yeah. And I try to use them as a way to improve.
Okay. What motivates you to go an extra mile on a school project?
Definitely the idea of getting good grades and being able to go to a good university and work in a job that I really enjoy.
What is your plan once you finish high school?
I'd like to go on to university.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
Probably in university, hopefully SFU, studying business.
What about 10 years from now?
I'd see myself either building and selling properties or in law.
Are you creative?
In terms of solving problems and that kind of stuff, yes, but in terms of art, not, or music, not very.
Why are you looking for work?
I feel like obviously I would like to get some money, but I would also like to help out my community, and I feel like getting a job is a very good way to do that.
Tell me about your work or your volunteer experience.
Well, last year over the summer I worked at Superstore as a courtesy clerk, and I did a lot of volunteering in middle school, and I was a part of the Student Leadership Council for SD43, and I ended up not doing a lot of leadership stuff after middle school because it becomes like an elective, but I did help out at a parent-teacher night at our school in the tech department.
If you could choose any type of paid work at all, what would you choose?
Probably just either working in building and selling properties or in law. I don't really have very many extraordinary dream jobs.
Do you have any questions for me?
I was just wondering, is there a dress code other than the uniform, as for shoes?
Yes, you have to have a proper shoes, cannot be open toe so it has
Oh
to
yeah,
be.
that won't be a problem for me.
So go ahead.
Just one more question. Is there any problems you found with my resume or any other questions about it that you may
No,
have?
everything is fine.
Okay. Thank you for your time. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.